A lot of couples think that communication is all about talking, right? Shebi is just to talk. It's not to talk to my husband, talk to my wife, the same way I talk to my children, That's what communication is all about. So they believe that once there is any disagreement, any issue, just tell my husband, and he understand, he pick it, and they are wondering, but I'm talking to my husband, I'm talking to my wife, I'm telling her or telling him what she's doing wrong or what he's doing wrong, but I'm not seeing changes, I'm not seeing any difference. So what else should I do? Because you think that communication is just mere talking. Why some wives even think communication is withdrawing to themselves and writing a very long WhatsApp note and sending to their husband, like, this is what you did, this is what I don't like, this is what, and all of that. And they feel that, what a relief, I've been able to share his offenses, I've been able to share what he did to me, to him. Or they make a voice note. Technology these days has made everything very, very a lot of wives, instead of them to sit one-on-one to share their mind with their husband like adults do, they prefer to just withdraw to themselves. And if the husband is wondering, what am I doing wrong, instead of them to talk, they'll just come on WhatsApp and they'll just type long message, or they send voice notes, like 20 voice notes, just to tell their husband what he did that is really paining them, that is really burning in them. And in their mind they feel that, oh, I'm communicating with my husband, because at least when he's done reading the WhatsApp message and he's done listening to the WhatsApp voice notes, he would come to the room and beg me and know what he has done wrong. Only few couples understand that communication is a way of bonding in marriage. Communication is so beautiful that it always makes your partner to want to create time, to spend time with you. But a lot of wives, a lot of husbands only wants to communicate, only wants to have discussion, or only wants to discuss with their partner when there is an issue or when there is disagreement. That's the only time they want to talk. And that's why anytime you tell your partner we need to talk, they either withdraw to their shell, or they give excuse that, oh, I'm busy, oh, can we fix this thing for another time? And they are scared to have discussions with you, whether as a man, I mean the husband, or as a wife, because you think that communication in marriage is all about talking, right? Communication is not all about talking. You must know how to go about talking. And for every discussion you have with your partner, it's a build-up of what next they should expect in your discussion with them. And that's why in today's video I'll be telling you how to communicate effectively with your partner. How to communicate effectively with your partner. And I know that when you're done watching this video, you will always love to communicate with your partner, because you will know what to say, how to say it, when to say it, where to say it, the kind of way to say it, like the kind of word to use when you are the kind of words to use when you're communicating with your partner. So without further delay, let's dive into how to communicate effectively with your partner. So in today's video, I want you to understand that communication in marriage, communication with your spouse, cannot be done effectively without those 4 points. And what are these 4 points? Timing, tone, attitude, and your kind of words. Timing, tone, attitude, and your kind of words. So let's dive into the explanation of those 4 points. So for every of your communication with your spouse, you must understand that there is timing for everything, right? Imagine that your husband did something that you don't like in the morning, or your wife did something that you don't like in the morning, and you are waiting for them at home. Probably he went to work, she went to work that day, and they are not back. You don't know who they are coming with, whether they are coming with your mother-in-law, or they are coming with a friend, or they are coming with their sister or their brother. As soon as you sight your husband at the door, that's not the time to start saying, my dear, I don't like the way you let the gas on in the morning and the food got burnt. That's not the right time to communicate that to your partner. It's the wrong timing, really. It's the wrong timing. Because at that point, your husband is at the door and you see him with those wonderful people. You are supposed to welcome him and welcome them. Not begin to tell him how he burnt the food and you could not even eat anything that morning, and even the children could not take anything to school and all of that. Keep that for another time. That's not the right time to say that. Or probably your husband, he might not even be coming with anybody, probably your husband or your wife. This is applicable to both genders, right? Or your husband or your wife had a very hectic day at work, and what they did in the morning is what you are telling them as soon as they press the doorbell, and you know that they are the one. You just open the door and you begin to tell them, you begin to communicate or share your mind with them. It's wrong. Even aside from what they did, even when you have something very important to share with your husband or something very important to share with your wife, understand the timing. And that's why, as a wife, as a husband, you must always be guided, led, driven by the Spirit of God, because God will always nudge you on when to say some things, when to talk, and when not to talk. Because there are times that God will just expect you to just be silent. God just expects you to just be quiet over an issue for the meantime. And when He wants you to talk about it, you will talk about it. You will see that play out in the life of Esther. Yeah. When Esther was told that her people was about to be killed, there was a plan to kill her people, and she was like, she can't she can't just approach the king without being called by the king, because there is there is a punishment for that, right? And Mordecai, her uncle, told her that does she not know that she was in the palace for a time like this, that if she did not rise up for the help of her people, God will raise another person, but she should not think that she would escape this, right? You understand what I'm saying? So you can go and read the book of Esther, but that's not where I'm going to. Esther made up her mind that she was going to approach the king, but she said she's going to fast for 3 days, right? With a maid working with her, right? She's going to fast, and she did the fast. But guess what? As soon as the king saw her, she found favor in his sight, and he told her to ask for whatever she wanted, even if it's half of the kingdom. Can you imagine that? Because she understands the right timing. And you won't even believe that when the king asked her what does she want, it's not immediately she started talking. She did not start talking that, you won't believe, Mordecai, my uncle, came to meet me that Haman was planning the death of my people. Can you imagine that? No. The first day, she took care of the king's belly. She cooked a wonderful meal, delicious meal. The second day, the same thing. Before she let the cat out of the bag, I mean that before she said what was troubling her. But it was not immediately she saw the king. She was not like, King, help me. The Haman is about to kill my people. I'm sorry for singing, but that was not what she did. She understands the right timing. So there is always the right timing for every discussion, right? You can talk randomly. Please don't get me wrong. You can talk randomly, but there are some discussions that when you want to have with your spouse, especially when it has to do with a change, you want them to change in a particular way, or you want them to adapt some things, or you want them to do some things for you. There should be a timing to this thing. There should be a timing. Maybe you don't like the way your husband is always throwing his shoes and scattering his office wears whenever I return back from the office, and is at that point where he's exhausted, he's tired, he's fagged out. You are now telling him. He will not even remember you told him things like that, because he's tired already, and you're like, dear, I've told you, don't keep your shoe here again. Why? I don't just even understand you. Like, why will you put your bag here? Why will you put your laptop here? Why will you put your why will you remove your shoe here? Why will you put your suit here? At that point, he's not even hearing anything. If it's probably your child can, out of here, just quickly pack the bag and pack the shoe and everything, just to not to incur your hurt. But your husband can't do that. He's an adult. Your wife too can't do that in any situation, because she's an adult. So for you to communicate effectively with your spouse, you must understand that there is timing for every discussion, right? There is timing for every discussion, really. So the second point you must take into consideration when communicating with your spouse is tone, the kind of tone you use. Your tone can either be harsh or calm. Yeah. Imagine you saying, I don't like what you're doing. I don't just even get it. And you're screaming, you are shouting, you are yelling, you are nagging. You are not communicating. You are just screaming, you are yelling, you are nagging. Yeah. And guess what? The Bible says that it's better to dwell in the rooftop than to dwell with a contentious woman. You might not necessarily have the mind of fighting with your husband, but your tone is showing that you are ready for a fight. So no matter how that discussion is welling up in your belly, is welling up inside of you, you must learn to caution yourself. You must learn to use the right tone. Yes. So it's very important that you learn how to use the right tone when you are communicating with your husband, because he's not a child, she's not a child. So you cannot keep talking to her like a child or talking to him like a child and expect results and expect your partner to always delight in communicating with you. A lot of husbands just like to keep to themselves because they know that for every communication they have with their wife, it does not turn out well. So they just like to keep things to themselves, and the more they bottle things up, the more you won't even get the best out of that marriage, really. Because communication is also another way of bonding, right? It's another form of bonding in marriage. And that's why a lot of people, because they don't communicate in marriage, even when the children are long gone, they still don't know how to communicate. Because while they were not nurturing those children, they focused more on the children while the husband focused on the work. So there was little or no communication done between the both of them. They didn't even understand how to communicate. Like, a man cannot communicate with his wife without not shouting. A woman cannot communicate with her husband without not yelling. Then two of you would just find it, you just see that you don't want to just want to communicate. Whatever he or she do to you, you are just fine with it. That, well, that's where she is, that's where he is. Is it supposed to be like that? Communication should be something that you both look forward to having with each other. In fact, your husband is intentionally creating time to spend time with you, because he knows that for every communication he have with you, he is better. So the more you communicate, the more you get better at it. But if you avoid communication and say, well, let everyone just do what seems best for them, then you're not in marriage. You are literally working in a company, right? So you must learn to communicate with your husband and get feedbacks from them. Oh, am I doing well at communication? What do you think I need to change when I'm communicating with you? Oh, do you like my voice, or do you like my tone I use when communicating with you? And that is very important, that when your husband is telling you some things and you notice that he's already sparking some things in you, it is better you begin to tell your partner that, please, can we talk about this later? And if your partner insists that you must have that discussion at that point in time, you need to invite the Holy Spirit. Because you know that you don't want to raise your voice. No matter what, you must learn not to raise your voice at your husband. You must learn it. Even as a husband, learn not to raise your voice at your wife. Because she's not a child. She's an adult just like you. So you must learn to be calm with her. You must learn to be tender with her. You must learn to be patient with her. You must learn to be the most wonderful husband she can ever pray for. Right? So it's very important to use the right tone when communicating with your partner in order to communicate effectively with them. So the third point that would aid effective communication is your attitude. What's your attitude like? Are you the kind of person that even when you talk, you are so proud? It's all about you. What you're doing right and what your partner is doing wrong. You don't see yourself as team that, okay, I feel that we both should do this. I feel that there is always this pride in the way you talk. Your partner will not like to talk to you. and you cannot communicate effectively with your partner. It's all about, you know that if not because I got this last month, you know that you will not be able to do this month. You know that if not because I trained you to school, even the way you are talking, you will not be able to talk. It's all the way you talk, really. It just shows that you don't understand that you both are team. Whatever you have done in that marriage is for the betterment or the good of the both of you. So as you are making your partner good, you're also making yourself good, because two has become one. Yeah. So it's very important that you work as team. You work as you work as an adult. You talk to each other like an adult. Sometimes when we won't talk to our children, be like, I know better than you. I have more experience. You can tell that to your children, but it's wrong for you to tell that to your wife or to your husband, that you are older than them with 10 years, or you are 10 years older than them, or you have more experience than them, or what do they even know? What do they know? What have they achieved in life? No. Your attitude towards your partner when communicating with them must show forth respect, must show forth concern, must show forth tenderness, must show forth patience, must show forth love. Yes. Not anger, not pride, not resentment, not bitterness, not overconfidence, not your ego, and all of that. No. You will not want your partner to always love or want to even communicate with you, because every time spent with you is like you are provoking them, you are downgrading them, you are just making them to be less of who they think they are. I remember a man who reported his wife to my parents, who said that anytime he's talking to his wife, even when he's talking to her calmly, the wife will be using him to probably play with her phone, watch television, or she's gonna do like this. That's it. Like, talk to my fingers. When you're done talking to my fingers, I'm out of here. So she's seated, and when he's done talking, she hears and she walks out. Even though the marriage isn't existing today, but my parents tried by his grace to kind of resolve it. But that's why I said communicating in marriage is beyond you just talking, right? It's beyond you just talking. You must know what it means to communicate effectively with your partner. So it's very important that we learn how to talk with the right attitude. There is this love that must show forth in your attitude, in your behavior towards your partner when you're communicating with them. There must be this attention, this tenderness, this love, and that's what will determine the kind of tone you will use. If you have a bad attitude, most of the time, because of your attitude, your bad attitude, your anger issues, your pride, that's why you use harsh tone towards your partner. I know that the Lord will grant us understanding to do all that I am saying. Last but not the least point, which is so essential, is the use of your words. Yeah. Let me read the book of Proverbs chapter 16 for us. Proverbs chapter 16 verse 24. Proverbs chapter 16 verse 24. It says, "Pleasant words are like honeycomb, sweetness to the soul and health to the bones." That's Proverbs chapter 16 verse 24, the New King James Version. Let me read the CBT version. It says that nothing is more appealing than speaking beautiful, life-giving words, for the release sweetness to the soul and inner healing to our spirit. Sweet words is just so important. In fact, TLB version, which is the Living Bible translation, says that kind words are like honey, enjoyable and healthful. Kind words are like honey, enjoyable and healthful. So what kind of word do you use when you're communicating with your partner? It's not about Olori Kiniko, you're a very stupid woman. You if only you think before you talk, you will know how to talk. Abba. Even the Bible says that life and death in the power of the tongue. Yes, there is life and death in the power of your tongue. So what kind of words are you using when you're communicating with your partner? Are they happy to be around you and say, "My wonderful husband, my crown, my king," the one that God blessed me with? Like, the one that God has given to me to do life with me. Like, I just love you. I don't know. I appreciate you for all that you are doing. And I just feel that I just need to tell you this. I know you have a good heart towards me, but maybe you don't know that what you're doing is actually very painful or it's actually hurting me. And that's what I want to tell you, because I know that you love me and you always want the best for me. Remember what you did 3 days ago, that you got something from me, and guess what? That thing was what I just needed. So I know you love me, and I just want to tell you this, that my dear, please, anytime visitor is coming over, or your mother or your sister or your brother is coming over, please, can you just inform me so I can prepare ahead for them. I can know what to do in order to make them comfortable, because most times when they show up, they might just be little food stuff at home, and going out there to get a lot of food stuff, they just feel that, oh, maybe I'm this unserious person that does not stock up the house and all of that. So my dear husband, please, please, Adeori me, the one who want the best for me. Oh no, kind words, they're like honey, helpful and enjoyable. Like, they would always want to listen to you. And this is also vice versa. This is also applicable too for you as the husband, as the head of the home. Yes, as the husband, it's also applicable to you. There's a way you talk to your wife, and she sees this love in your eyes, this tenderness in your speech and everything. She will listen to you. She will not just listen to you. She will give room for change. She will go back and say, Father, please, I don't want to hurt this man that loved me so much. Please, there should be, I don't know, as believers, God expects so much more from us. Yeah. That you are a godly husband, you're a godly wife, you must reflect God. God is loving. God is wonderful. God is merciful. God is kind. Have you read the words of Jesus? Even to the Samaritan woman, even to the woman that was caught in the act of adultery, even to those people that were seen as outcasts in their time, Jesus was tender to them. He spoke the right words to them. He let them know that they are important. Your kind of words will show if your partner is important to you or you are just managing them. That's the truth. Because the way some couples talk, sometimes to make their wife go back and say, Lord, why did I marry this man? Why did I end up with this man? And some husbands who go back and they're like, Lord, why did I end up with this kind of woman? Lord, why? But there's certain words you say to your husband, to your wife, and you're like, Lord, I don't know what I did to deserve this, but Lord, thank you. You gave me more than what I asked for. You gave me a woman who knows what to say, who knows how to put me in the right mood, how to elevate my spirit, how to revive my spirit, because your words are supposed to revive the spirit of your husband, the spirit of your wife. And that's why communication is important. It's so important. Because if you don't know how to communicate, the truth is your partner will not like to be around you. Have you not noticed that your partner loves to be around people that elevate them, that encourage them? Tell the Lord to give you the grace to use the right words. I don't know how you grew up or how you were trained, but a lot of people were trained in a negative environment, so they are used to negative words. Because then I used to have a classmate who every of her words always end up as insult. Like, she's always insulting, she's always abusive, like she's always using words that are negative. Sincerely, I don't like to be around her. So imagine that kind of lady is someone's partner. Do you think a partner will love to communicate with her? For every other discussion, even when she's not angry, like she just likes to just use some annoying words, some negative words. But I won't blame her, because I don't know the kind of environment she was raised. I don't know what her mom says to her dad or her dad says to her mom. So the way you run your marriage is so important for the next generation, for your seed, for your children. Your words must just be rightly put together and said. You cannot be insultive, abusive, and expect change or expect your partner to love to talk to you. Some women, they cannot just end their statements with olori buruku, olori, I don't even know the Yoruba abuse, but all these big, like, Even as husband too, you call your wife stupid woman, you call your wife a she-goat, you call your wife, if she's a she-goat, who are you then? If only you understand that as believers, your words carry life. So when you're communicating with your partner, even if your wife, your husband feel down that day, your words alone will just revive their spirit. The main reason why most couples are not communicating is because of these 4 points. The timing is wrong, the tone is wrong, the attitude is wrong, the words are wrong, and you want your partner to always be about you. It's not possible. Who love to be around negative people? Nobody. Even your very self. Do you like to be around negative people? No. So it's so beautiful to learn how to communicate effectively with your partner with this 4 points, 4 crucial points. In fact, it will help you in handling disagreements, handling issues, which will be the next video, how to handle disagreements and issue between you and your partner. But for today's video, it's all about how to communicate effectively with your partner. So if you have been communicating wrongly with your partner, please, you need to change. Go before the Lord, ask for his grace to help you to know when to talk and when to be silent, when to present matters and when to just put the matter on hold and enjoy the moment, right? And also the kind of tone to use at every given point, right? Understanding that this person you are dealing with, this person you are associated with, is not a baby but an adult like you, and you want to communicate to the right tone and not communicating like you are the boss, you are a tyrant. No. And also the right attitude, very important. Right attitude, right attitude, right attitude. A lot of people, when they want to communicate to outsider, you see them, they're always smiling, right? And people are like, I love your beautiful smile. But when they are talking to their partner, it's all about their mood is they're squeezing their face, they're letting their partner know that you don't understand what you have done, you don't understand the gravity of what you have done. No. Even if what they've done is very, very bad, learn to have the right attitude, really, because the wrong attitude gone cannot change anything. Yes, the Bible says use good to conquer evil, not evil to conquer evil, because evil cannot even conquer evil. It's only good that can conquer evil. So if you think it's all about misbehaving, showing pride, showing all those bad attitude will bring the right results, you're just wasting your time, literally, yeah. And also your use of words. Pray for grace, that your words will always be seasoned with grace. Your word will always carry life, and your partner will always love to be around you. I pray the Lord grant you understanding and give you grace to do all that he has dished out in today's video. I remain Omolewa Mary Olupukola, and I pray for you that you will have a sweet marriage, a beautiful marriage, a thriving marriage by the special grace of God. Amen. So God bless you. Kindly share this with every couple in your space. Have a blessed day.